Hey best friend, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, it's your girl and you're watching 𝐬𝐬 TV. Alright y'all, so I'm back with another DoorDash video. This one I'm giving y'all 10 tips on being a DoorDasher that I've learned so far. I've been doing it for about 2-3 weeks now. So there's a few tips that have helped me, gain the most here in this small city that I live in. So let's go ahead and get started. Tip number 1, arrive on time. So when you have an order and it has a pickup time and a delivery time, you want to make sure that you are arriving at the restaurant within, a certain, before that time is up. Let's say it's 1 o'clock and your pickup time says 1:15 and you're like 2 minutes away from the restaurant. Go ahead and go to the restaurant and let them know you're there. That way they can go ahead and give you the food if it's already ready. You don't want to wait until the pickup time. The pickup time is when they're supposed to be ready with the food. But sometimes they can be ready before then. So that'll add onto your, delivery time. That way, like if you get lost trying to find their house, it gives you more time to be on time for your delivery time, if that makes sense. So just make sure you're on time because that helps with your on time rating or whatever. So my next tip is to not tamper with the customer's food. Being a dasher, even though on the app it shows you how they made their sandwiches, however they had their food made, it shows you all that, not for you to check it. When you get the food, it's actually for the restaurant. It's not there for you guys to actually go through and check and make sure they have no pickles, no onions or anything like that. Make sure they at least have their drinks, the number of drinks that they're supposed to have. If you can actually see, because some restaurants have where you can see through the cup. They have clear cups. You can actually see what the drink is. You can check with your eyes. Don't check with your hands. So make sure you have the straws and the drinks. And that's it. Just don't tamper with the food. So my next tip is to let the customer know to call DoorDash support if they have any kind of problems. If they're missing any items, something's not right with their order, they need to call DoorDash support. It has nothing to do with you. I actually had to go through this the other day. I kept telling her to call DoorDash, but I had the feeling she wasn't going to, so I ended up calling DoorDash. So the best thing for you to do is just to tell your customer to call DoorDash support if they have any issues. If you already know that they're going to have some issues, like if you're at, with me, I was at this restaurant for a good 45 minutes. So the customer was waiting a good hour before she even got her food. In my mind, I just knew something wasn't right. And I just let her know from the jump, you might want to call DoorDash support. Which brings me to the next tip, which is to communicate with your customer. Let them know what's going on. If you're you don't have to necessarily let them know that you're at the restaurant or you're on the way delivering their food. You don't have to let them know all that if you don't want to. Not every single customer. It's good to let them know when problems arise. Like if you get to the restaurant and they just start the food, you let them know, I'm here at so-and-so restaurant waiting on your food. They just started it. And things like that. You just want to communicate with your customer, let them know what's going on. It helps a lot with your rating. So my next tip is to dash during busy hours, which is kind of common sense. To dash between the busiest hours of the day. This varies from region to region, different states and cities or whatever. Typically, breakfast hours is from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Lunch is between 11 to about 2 o'clock. The dinner rush is probably like 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock or something like that. Here where I live in a small city, and my city goes to sleep at like 10 o'clock. Everything starts closing at about 10 o'clock. A lot of states stay open 24 hours or whatever. Just be familiar with the busiest times of the day and dash during those hours. My next tip is to not worry about your acceptance rate. I've said this before. The acceptance rate does not matter. It really does not matter how low you get. You not get deactivated because it's low. If you guys don't know what the acceptance rate is, it's when you get an order and you decline it. You can keep declining that order as much as you want to. You will not get penalized for it at all. The only time you will get deactivated with acceptance is when you accept the order and then you decide you want to decline it afterwards. That is a definite no-no. My next tip is to keep a Sharpie in your car. I've said this before in one of my Doordash vlogs, is to keep a Sharpie in the car when you have those stacked orders, those multiple orders, and you get it, because a lot of restaurants don't put the name of the customer on the ticket that's attached to the bag. So you actually have to take a Sharpie and write her name on there, just so you won't get the orders mixed up. So my next tip is to be smart about the orders you accept. What I mean by that is, if you get an order, you want to go $1, at least $1 per mile. So if you get an order and it's for $3, which I don't recommend you accept at any cost, but if you get an order for $3 and it's got 3.4 miles or something like that, don't accept it. That is horrible. If you get an order and it's $8 and it's having you go 12 miles, that's a no-no. You want to do $1 per mile, so be smart about the orders you accept. My next tip is to use a mileage tracking app. The one that I use is called GridWise. You want to track your miles when you're dashing, doing deliveries or whatever, because when you file taxes, that is a huge tax deduction for your miles. So make sure you are using an app that will actually track it for you. They do have a lot of apps that track your miles, but the one I use as of right now is GridWise. And my last tip is to be presentable. This will increase your tips, how much customers tip you. So you don't have to wear like Doordash attire, or you know, you want to look decent. You want to go out looking like a bum with your hair in a bonnet or a do-rag on. You want to look presentable. You know what I mean. So right now I do have on a Doordash shirt. Super cute shirt. I will have the link in the description where I got this shirt from. If I'm not mistaken, it was DoorDashGear.com, but like I said, I will have it in the description below. I only pay $11 for it. You do not have to wear Doordash attire. It's just something, I mean, I'm proud of, you know, being a dasher. So, and I kind of like wearing Doordash gear, because when you go in a restaurant, you don't have to necessarily let them know you're from Doordash. They can clearly see your Doordash up in here. Make sure you're being presentable for the customers, that way they can tip you. All right, you guys, so that wraps up my 10 tips that I got for being a DoorDasher. I hope I helped you guys. If I did, make sure you give your girl a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any more of my videos. And I will talk to you guys later.